You know, I spent years in Victoria, BC, homeless, man. When I first came out, I was 22. When I first came to the island, I'm 29 now. I never had a drug addiction, you know what I mean? To be honest, I kind of took it as a camping trip at a certain point, because when I first came to the island, I'm coming from a major city. I've never seen mountains. I've never seen ocean. I've never felt a warm climate in my life. So even though I was homeless, I thought of it like, you know what? I try to be optimistic. I try to be positive about whatever situation I'm in, and I know I'm going to overcome it regardless, right? So I just looked at it like, this is a camping trip for now, you know, and that's it, man. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm homeless and my life is over and all this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never been like that in any situation that I was in, you know? I mean, we have our moments, right, of where we doubt ourselves, but anyways, let me get back to my point. My point is, you know, when I was homeless out here, I went to the shelters, right? I went to the Salvation Army. I seen Rock Bay. I automatically knew I'm not going to Rock Bay, obviously. I'm not a drug user, you know what I mean? And I also never seen a shelter in my life. Like, I'm from... You know, I'm from a place where it's like, poverty is much more of a thing where I'm from. It's a lot worse where I'm from. Violence, crime, major cities, bigger than Vancouver, like, you know what I mean? Toronto is the oldest, largest city in Canada. You know what I mean? It's a lot worse than out here, you know what I'm saying? But what really shocked me was how things are out here, where they just let drugs manifest. Like, Ontario doesn't do that. If you're smoking meth on the corner, you're smoking any type of drug or having any type of paraphernalia in front of a cop, you're going to jail, bud. They're going to arrest you. They're going to take what you have, your drugs. They take it. They confiscate it because it's, you know, possession of narcotics. You know what I mean? Like, and then you go to jail for possession of an illegal substance and, you know what I'm saying, paraphernalia, whatever else. You know what I mean? But you go to jail, you dry out, you wake up, you shake your head, you're like, fuck, that was a bad trip, man. And then you're like, okay, I'm not addicted to the drug no more. I need to fuck that shit. I don't want to go back to that shit. You know what I mean? But you need that moment of clarity. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't advocate for jail in any circumstance, because jail will not bring correction. It'll never bring correction, buddy. You're going in there with murderers, fucking gangsters, people that want to be gangsters, people that want to fucking cause harm. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference in between a gangster or a criminal that is doing crime because they have no other choice and they know no other way since they were a child and they were influenced in that manner. They're victimized by their circumstances. And then there's the gangsters and criminals that enjoy that lifestyle and boast in it. And I've been on both sides of the fence, you know what I mean? But anyways, my point being is that I came to BC and I just seen it was a complete shit show when it came to drugs, and I wondered why that is. And now I'm starting to identify and see why that is. You know, listen, man, the devil, you know what he'll do? He'll say, here, let me cure you from cancer. Let me do something good for you. Let me help your mother. Let me help you here. Let me give you a shelter. Let me do something good for you. Let me do something nice for you, right? That's what the devil's gonna do. Evil comes in innocent form. So the devil always comes to you in the form of a friend or in the form of help. Somebody's supporting you. Something is supporting you. It's trying to get close to you, right? And then you don't realize the devil is tricky, man. So my point being by that is, you know, this whole situation out here, like, oh, we're trying to help. Hold on one second. whole situation of like, oh, we're trying to help, but they're letting drugs just do its thing out here, bro. Like, that's the thing, is like, yo, I'm wondering why is it worse? It's worse where I come from, but how is it worse for drugs in BC when I come out here? First of all, it's a port place. Seattle, Japan, you're on an island, things go through here. But guess what? Toronto, there's New York, Buffalo. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like, Chicago's not far away. The Detroit border. So that is not going to hold no more. That's not going to work. Oh, we're a port hub. That's why. No, man. Your government is allowing the manifestation of drugs to flow freely. So that way, users stay users. And the people that are employed because of addiction stay employed. And the funding that gets circulated continues to get circulated, and people are skimming off of those budgets and living off of it luxuriously. Okay, that's why addiction is the way it is in BC. And of course, naturally, people that may be homeless in various parts of the country are going to want to try to, if you are going to be homeless, why not try to improve your quality of life and go to a place that's warmer? Why wouldn't you? It's a logical thing to do. So, you know, you're going to get more of that out here when it comes to that. But this is the thing, man. When I went to the shelters, I seen that. It was just like, I've never been to a shelter where they just let people do drugs. I was like, holy fuck, this shit's crazy. I'm like, yo, it's beautiful out here. I don't have to worry about getting shot in my fucking face for wearing the wrong colored shoelaces on the wrong side of the city. Like fucking Toronto, or fucking getting stomped out or fucking stabbed for no reason in Hamilton and getting jumped and robbed for your shit on a daily basis. Because that's how it is where I come from. You don't gotta do nothing to end up in a bad situation. Just hang out for a little bit. Walk down the street. Go downtown. Wear a gold chain. Wear some nice shoes. Try to look like a gangster and not be one. See what happens. You know what I mean? You're gonna get hurt and you're gonna get dominated out where I come from. But so I'm just like, holy fuck, I've never seen it. Okay, well, I'm not going to Rock Bay, so I go to the Salvation Army. You know, and they're charging people $550 to $600 per bed to live in a fucking homeless shelter in a non-profit organization, which is supposed to be a Christian organization. First of all, everything to do with Jesus Christ, the Salvation Army has no relevance to. So it's a front, right? And it has nothing to do with Christianity, you know, or the Bible. It's just that organization is exploiting religion in that manner to profit. Just like every other organization that's claiming to be here for homelessness and here, oh, let's help with harm reduction and all that stuff. Buddy, there's a whole army of monsters profiting off of this shit, man. And they're only in the conversation because they figured out a way to exploit it, advocate as if they came from it, and really they're profiting from it. It's crazy. Everybody's got their hands in the pot except for the homeless man. Everybody's profiting off of homelessness except for the homeless person. Everybody's talking about homelessness and having conversations around homelessness, but never involving the homeless person. Okay, so start to wake up, start to see what's going on. And now they're being exploited, but now they figured out a way to flip it even further, and now everybody's got their hands in the pot. You know? And I'm sitting here like, wow, and I'm just watching this shit. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. I better start, you know what? And I kept silent for a little bit because I'm supposed to, if I, you know, I started working for an organization that advocates for homelessness, and all of a sudden I got a filter on me and I can't say what's really happening and say what's real. And, you know, I had to hold back and I couldn't say the truth. I couldn't say anything that's really happening in the way that it's happening. Because it might offend people. Of course it's going to offend people because people are wrong and they're doing wrong things and they need to get called out. It's called accountability. I need it too. We all need it. You know what I mean? We all need accountability and correction from each other to hold each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? With good intent. You know what I'm saying? not to manipulate or take advantage of. But anyway, so I go to the Salvation Army. This is crazy, man. And after 30 days, they kick you out unless you pay $550 or $600 for a private room, which you never get into. I was there for years off and on, never got one of those private rooms. But bottom line is there's 3 dorms, 30 beds per dorm. Add that up, $600 a bed. Well, $550 for the dorms and then $600 for the private rooms, and I think there's like 10 private rooms. I don't know. I added it all up and it came to like $28,500 last time I calculated with the correct calculations. I'll have to go over it again. But that Salvation Army is making $28,500 per month off of the homeless, living in a homeless shelter, which is the buddy. Yo, listen, we live in abundance in this country, man. People say, "Whoa, you gotta pay the hydro." That building would still pre-exist with or without the homeless shelter, and the lights would stay on. So it's not the homeless shelter that's consuming, okay? They're just there because that building would stay on anyways, because it's a government building where the halfway house people are in there. That's the halfway houses upstairs. So they have to, the government's gonna keep that on. And then I talked to the halfway house guys out there. Talked to the halfway house guys upstairs. "Hey, puppy. What's up, Papa? What you doing?" Dog comes, stops me in my tracks, and he just looks at me. He's like, "What's up, buddy? What you doing on my block?" "Nothing." But anyway, so this is real life, bro. This is real life. People don't talk about this shit, eh? Nobody wants to fucking talk about how they were homeless. Especially me, man. I'm a fucking rapper, man. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, where I come from, you never show a weakness. You never, ever show when you're down. You only show when you're up, because you got people that are hoping for your downfall and they're wishing on your death, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got enemies where I come from. Especially if you're a real motherfucker and you say it how it is. It's easy to make enemies and people that hate you. So this is difficult to talk about, but it has to be done. What's that? Ooh, almost eating the concrete every second step. Anyway, so I knew I had to do this, man. I knew I had to talk about this stuff. And it's exploiting, it's exposing, you know what I'm saying? But in the end of the day, I'm always gonna be okay. I don't have a drug addiction, you know what I'm saying? I have control over my life, man. Like, you know what I mean? Even when I was homeless, I had control over my life. I didn't affiliate with people. I didn't associate with people. I'm not out here to fucking make friends. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? What I want to do is improve my quality of life. And that's it. And this city of Victoria, made it impossible for me to improve my quality of life. And I can break down every aspect and how that could be, because there's so many resources out here, right? So many organizations saying, "Hey, we're here to help," and it confuses the society and the population, because they're like, all they hear is all the good work the city's doing for the homeless. You know what I mean? But when you're actually homeless and you're out there, you realize it's a fluke. You're running around, you're walking. They're like, "Go to here and they'll help you with housing." You go there and they print you a Craigslist sheet off of the internet. Like, I couldn't do that myself. Okay, well, yeah, that organization is really helping the homeless. They're sitting there getting paid 8 hours a day to do nothing. Awesome. And that confuses the population, because they're thinking like, "Oh, these homeless people are assholes. Like, you could just go to to this housing place and they'll get you housing. You just don't want it. You want to party." So I go there, I'll do all that, and find out pretty quick that it's a fluke. So then I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm on my own." You know what I mean? And it's like that with every single resource that claims to be a resource to help the homeless, man. And there's more, you know what? There was absolutely no resources and no help except for people with addictions, because addiction is profitable. And I'm wondering why there's all these programs and resources for people with addictions, but there's no help for a sober guy that's ready to transition to the next level without anything burdening him like an addiction or alcoholism. And it's because it's not profitable for them to help somebody that's sober, you know. So I'm sitting there like, you know, bro, it was bad, man. It made me realize that there's no way out of this situation, and it was scary. One sec. That's how my shoelace came undone. Anyways, I stayed silent for a bit, but I no longer represent an organization, so I no longer have to filter with what I say. I can swear, I can tell the truth. I can expose organizations and government entities for being corrupt and profiting off of homelessness and addiction, but sitting there saying, we're here to help. It's a fucking front. It's a fucking bluff, buddy. And you know what? I'm living proof of it, and there's no way to prove it except to go through it. You have to live it, you have to see it, you got to experience it. It has to be long term for you to identify what's actually happening, and that's never going to happen to the average person. So that's why there's so much stigma and ignorance around homelessness and addiction, unawareness. If people did know the truth, they'd be outraged what the government really does with your tax dollars and then blames it on the homeless man. You know, it's just a way for the system to never have to take accountability. And then when they get put on the spot, they say, okay, we're doing this, and we're doing that. Everyone's like, oh, okay, yeah. All good then. Continue on robbing everybody for tax dollars and then lying about what you do with it. No problem. It's all good. We'll turn our cheek. We'll turn our face for a bit. And then they go back to their corruption, man. But anyways, so I end up tenting, right? I end up tenting because I see how the shelters are. They only give you 30 days and they want to charge you as much as, like, and I'm living in a dorm with 30 other, stinky men that are like some of them are not sleeping, some of them have addiction, some of them are recovering, some of them are alcoholics, some of them have mental health, wearing Batman suits. Like literally, there's a guy sitting there like wearing a Batman suit, pacing back and forth until 6 in the morning. You think I'm gonna go to sleep? Sitting there holding a knife in my hand, buddy, like in case somebody tweaks out and I gotta stab somebody. Like, that's my reality as a homeless person, needing to protect myself and be aware of my surroundings. It doesn't allow you to relax and calm down and use your energy to get yourself out of that situation. It exerts your energy, makes it impossible for you to get out of that situation safely. So I realized pretty quick that the shelters were not a healthy way to live. So I had to leave, which I did. So I would never consider tenting outside. That's almost psychotic to me, but it was a lot better. It was a relief. I couldn't wait. I could not wait to tent outside to get out of that type of environment. You can't mix everybody in the same pot and expect people to progress out of their circumstances. It's unrealistic and it's never going to happen. And you got to go and experience it firsthand to really identify it, and crazy how the system has it all worked out, man. What a wild experience, man. What a crazy thing, man. I said when I get out and I get my foot in the door, you guys are in trouble. You better kill me. Better assassinate me. Because I'm taking your house down, buddy. And nobody wants to expose themselves that they were homeless. So nobody's going to pick up a phone and make a video like this and say it how it is, because it's too embarrassing. But you know what? I'm not embarrassed at all. I went through homelessness. I've been on my own since I was 14 years old. My dad had me selling drugs when I was 15 years old. I was kicking doors when I was 16. I told you that. I grew up like that. I was inherited into that lifestyle. I did not ask for it. I didn't even know what right or wrong was. I did what I was told to do. So not everybody chooses from poor decisions and because they're a drug addict, that's why you're homeless. Buddy, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. That's crazy. And the reason why there's such addiction and such great... Bro, the cops... I could have been out here selling drugs for 6 years and I would have never got caught. I could be selling drugs for a year in Ontario. I would have got booked and put in jail for deuce plus, 2 years plus, just for a half a ball of cocaine or crack. Everybody's running around with a ball of meth, a ball of crack. Like out here in BC, the cops aren't arresting nobody. And I get it, bro. Trust me, I did jail time. Don't fucking crack to me and tell me, oh, we don't need to put people in jail. Motherfucker, the only thing that was good for me when I was out of control, because nobody could stop me. I was a monster. I did whatever the fuck I wanted to do. I was a lawless motherfucker. Stealing cars, fucking driving down wrong ways, crashing into other cars, fucking drinking a bottle of 26er in a stolen neon, fucking skirt. Doing whatever the fuck I want because you know why? The whole city's mad. The whole world's crazy. So I'm like, fuck it. It's a free ticket. Do whatever you gotta do to survive. You know? And I grew up in a violent place where if you don't do that shit, you're a victim. Like, you gotta get... There's no such thing as a fucking job where I come from. The fuck? Come from the fucking slums, buddy. That shit is a joke. But to the average person's perception and comprehension level, that's disgraceful what I just said. They can't even believe it right now. People are offended. And you know what? You should be, but you shouldn't be mad at me. You should be mad at the fucking government, the system as a whole. Because it's created this. Our quality of life depends on the way the system is built. And we're all fucking mad at each other because we're working hard for very little pay. And then we end up hating each other because it's like, oh, you're not working, you're a piece of shit. Like, the system flips us on each other. But anyway, so I'm tenting. I'm in Beacon Hill Park right now. Just going for a walk. Reminiscing when I was out here homeless. I come here once a day. Sometimes twice. For a day walk and a night walk. And so I'm tenting out here in Beacon Hill Park, and then next thing you know, by law, in the city are throwing my fucking tents out. I'm like, bro, it's the winter, shelters are full. I go to the by law throws my tent out. Then I go, I'm freaking out. All my documentation was in my tent. My ID, I just got it. Oh, I just got my ID. I just got some new clothes. And then bylaw comes along as soon as I leave, because I gotta go get something to eat, and I can't pack this tent up on a daily basis, bro. You know, when you're living outside and you're homeless and you're just trying to hang on by a thread and eat on a daily basis, and it's a struggle just to walk, 2 hours to go get a shower, and I have to go to places like our place to eat. You expect me to lower my quality of life and almost put myself in multiple bad situations because I'm homeless? Oh, well, that makes sense. Well, that's why you got a problem out here. Like, you know what I mean? But you're going to blame the individual versus how things are built. And there's your first problem. But anyways, bylaws throwing my tent out, which they're not apparently doing as much right now because the whole world's looking now. And they don't want to look like the bad guy because people are finally standing up and we're all looking. We're saying, buddy, take that tent down, see what happens. Now they're scared. Now the city's scared because everybody's looking and they don't want to look bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's the damn truth. It's not because they want to help. Trust me, because the city's been advocating, saying, oh, we want to help homelessness, but we're letting bylaw throw your tents out. Real contradiction. Real contradiction. Bullshit. And when I was tenting, I didn't tent out in the open like this. I had a bush over there. I was hidden. Like, bylaw had to go and scowl through the bushes to find my tent just to throw it out. It was just nasty. Like, I just get a tent after that. Sleep for a whole day because I haven't slept for like however long. And then boom, they throw my shit out. As soon as I go to get a shower because I'm so tired and hungry, I need to just go shower. I need to go take care of myself. Look at this, abandoned tents. It's so cold out. Buddy, this is bad, bro. You know what I mean? I'll never forget. Never forget, man. And you know what? That's the scary part, bro. You either lay down and die in a tent or you go commit crime. You go rob people, you steal, you sell, not steal, petty thief shit is not accepted by fucking anybody, even criminals and gangsters. We kill people for that shit, for doing petty crime, because it makes us look bad. We're trying to eat. We got these little petty thieves doing petty crime and shit, stealing like little fucking goofballs. You know what I mean? If you're gonna steal, go kick a fucking door and rob a drug dealer at gunpoint, gangsta. If you're a real fucking G, you wanna steal, we'll do something gangster then, you fucking pussy. But anyways, so I hate that shit. Anyways, so how are you ever gonna survive like that? The shelter, I just explained, I broke it down. How are you gonna survive homelessness, buddy? No such thing, doesn't exist. You're forced into crime. We'll get a job. Motherfucker, I can't even shower without my tent getting thrown out. Where the fuck do you expect me to sleep? You want me to go to the shelter where everybody's fucked up? You know what I mean? And I can't even sleep. There's 30 men, 30 motherfuckers in a dorm. You go sleep in a fucking dorm with 30 motherfuckers, buddy, and pay $600 a month. You want to fucking kill yourself in 3 days. You won't even make it 2 days. You're fucking privileged ass. You don't know shit. We'll try that shit. Fuck me, man. People are dumb. And they're attacking the homeless and the fucking addicted. You guys need to be exterminated, not us. Your system needs to be fucking removed. Deplatformed. Fucking get the fuck out of here. I'm bringing the house down. I'm exposing everything. And you know what? I don't have a drug addiction. So I can step up. I went in front of council. You know what I'm saying? I did workshops with 15 to 20 government officials or people that work in office and government in organizations that have power around housing. You know what I mean? And they're sitting there. I'm on the front line. You know how scary that is? And I don't always look like this. I can dress in a nice dress shirt and you know what I mean? Take my hat off and spike my hair. I look like just nobody. When I was homeless, nobody knew I was homeless. Nobody. I dressed in a suit. I dressed and not looking like, not one of those motherfuckers that are trying to dress in a suit and they still look bummy. That wasn't me. Like, I look sharp, man. Like, yo, go look at my pictures. Go look at who I am as an individual, and you'll see that I'm a presentable person, man. You know, but I come from the slums, so I mean, I come from the hip hop, era. I was born in '91. I was born in the '90s. It was normal, to be like that. But anyways. So end of the day, now here you are in a tent, bylaw throwing it out. You go back to the homeless shelters, you say, bylaw threw my tent out, I got nowhere to go. And they're like, sorry, the shelter's full. I go to the emergency one, they're like, sorry, we're at capacity. I go to our place, sorry, we're at capacity. I go to Rock Bay, I'm like, oh no, I hope I don't have to go here. I would rather sleep in a stairwell somewhere I would rather break into a car and sleep in someone's car. Like, buddy, that's how real shit gets that fast. And you're already hungry, tired, ready to die. You know what I mean? You wonder how the crime rate happens. Fucking idiots. Stupid motherfucking. Fuck, I hate fucking society and I fucking hate the system so fucking bad. You know what I mean? That's why people don't give a fuck anymore, man. And we're just doing whatever we gotta do to survive. Don't be stupid, man. Correct your shit and then you'll have less crime rate, you'll have less addiction. And here's another one. Stop using people's addictions against them to not give them more money for them to improve their quality of life. Motherfucker, even a drug addict knows how to fucking budget. Stupid. The motherfucker still has to eat and get shit. Sometimes they fucking make the wrong decision over the right decision more than not so. But it doesn't matter. If they had the extra money, they could still afford to do their fucking drugs, which it pisses you off. And they could still live a quality, they could be okay until they get well enough to look at the drug they're doing and be like, I'm ready to let this shit go now. My life is going pretty well. Why am I doing this shit to myself? When you're in a state of scarcity and you don't have any other choice and you're living off fucking crumbs and a small amount of money and they're throwing your tent out and the shelters are full and they won't even give you a blanket and you got no way to fucking survive and you're ready to die, the next best thing to do is fucking hit a crack or something or do a drug. just to survive one more fucking day. And you do that one day at a time until you perish and you die. The system suffocates you right the fuck out of it until you're dead. And then society goes, fuck you, you piece of shit, die, junkie. You know what I mean? And you're sitting there just trying to survive. So guess what? I'm not a fucking junkie. I'm not a drug addict, you fucking goof bitch. So come pick on me, pussy. You know what I mean? I'm out here. I got J's on my feet. I got my fucking outfit cost more than your fucking rent, stupid. And you know what? When I was selling drugs, I made more money than all you pissed off fucking skinhead construction working fucking asshole prideful motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And I laughed at you guys. As soon as I stopped selling drugs, I became poor. And then I couldn't get a job and nobody would hire me. Nobody would rent to me. And go look on my fucking Facebook, man. Go look up Cory Resilient. You'll see me in a fucking nice suit with my hair done nice, all spiked, in multiple pictures. I look like that more than I look like this. This is when I feel comfortable. Just like when a chick decides to have her hair down for a day and doesn't do her hair. It's the same thing. Or just wearing long or fucking comfortable clothing. I'm just going for a walk in the morning. Like, people always use that against you, your image. People judge you by how you look. They don't even know that I look like fucking James Bond 007 and 9 times out of 10, motherfucker. I look better than you motherfuckers that have more than me. Fuck, try that shit, me, puh. Anyways, so that's what is really going on here. That's the truth about homelessness in Victoria, man, and all across the board, BC, Canada, everywhere in the world, man. It's obviously worse in other places. But you know what? Things will never get better if that's the way it's going to get. And now I see everybody in on the conversation. Now everybody's talking about homelessness. And everybody's trying to compete. London's like, oh, we're the first city that finally solved homelessness for all veterans in the city. Buddy, there's probably like 100 veterans sitting in the city looking at that post like, what the fuck are you talking about? They don't even know what you're talking about. They're still homeless. But apparently London's the first city that solved homelessness for veterans. You're fucking full of shit. There's 100 fucking homeless motherfuckers out there that used to be, you know, that are vets. You know what I mean? And that's another thing, man. The system uses you and then flips you, and you're supposed to be a veteran, and then you're supposed to get a fucking pension. You're supposed to get all this shit, and then at the end, sorry, we can't give you that, and you're not eligible for this one fucking reason. And then now you're a homeless fucking veteran. And then they discredit you and call you a homeless fucking junkie, and then your word holds no weight no more, so you can't even defend yourself. Buddy, I'm telling you, the system is nasty. It's fucking nasty. It wants to get rid of the lower class. It wants to kill you off. And it's killing people off. Many, many people. And only until you end up on the bottom do you know what that's all about. Now you're in survival mode, fighting the system, trying to survive. And people think you're a fucking asshole because they're like, the city's trying to help you, you fucking junkie. Look at all the resources you have. Loser. Buddy, watch me. Watch me get fucking rich, bro. I will fucking shit on you motherfuckers. I will fucking exploit you to the fullest degree. You better hope and wish that I don't get my hands on wealth, motherfucker. I promise you. I'll buy out every single shelter in Victoria. I'll buy the whole fucking building and kick all the fucking corrupt motherfuckers working in there, skimming off the budget. And I'll fucking hire people with lived experience that overcame homelessness and survived. You know what I mean? Because it's really it really is surviving homelessness. It's fucking bad, buddy. And it's all behind the scenes and you can't see it. You need a motherfucker like me that really lived it to come out and fucking say this shit. And guess what? Nobody will. I'm the only motherfucker doing it. I'm on the front line. I was doing workshops. I was one of the first people with lived experience to be on the front line like that, in front of government officials, doing workshops. You know, got brought into GVAT, into the mental health and research team. I was the first motherfucker to even, you know, with lived experience to get into GVAT, or not into GVAT, but like into that mental health and research team or something. But bro, if they start letting real motherfuckers like me in, then there might be hope. But once I get in there and all of a sudden I can't talk, that's a problem. Now they want to try to convert me and make me, you know what I mean? So that's not going to happen. I'll burn the bridge, no problem. I will find a way no matter what. And you know what? The best thing is that even if I do have to go back out here into a tent, at least I was on the front line, buddy. And I was up there in front of government officials in this city talking to Lisa Helps, talking to these people that are in power to create change, and they see my face and they know who I am. So, and I was on a employed to an organization, you know what I mean? Like, I did it. Like, I did it, buddy. Like, that's good enough for me. And you know what? I don't have an addiction. I'm okay. I can take care of myself. I know how to live a quality life. If bylaw would just stop throwing my fucking tent out. Like, I would try to tent in a place like this, where you're right in there in the bush, and they'll still come in there and look through and find your tent and throw it out. And I'm like, why are you going out of your way to do this to people, man? Fucking crazy. What is wrong with you? Oh, but it's a sensitive vegetation area. Guess what? Humans were meant to stomp all over the fucking earth. We're number one over the vegetation on this planet. Of course, we need to respect it because it gives us life. But if we need to survive and live, then a plant doesn't fucking have the same value as a human being, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you fucking idiots. The fuck? Go fucking flush your head down the toilet. Like, you pieces of shit. Fuck you, bylaw. Now I can say the real shit. You guys, how do you even have pride in your fucking job? How can you sit here and fucking face society? Like, how can you face people knowing that you guys are fucking the direct cause of the problem? That's disgusting. That's wild. Anyways, I'm done. This video's too long. Share this video, like, subscribe, hit the bell. You know,